Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for the second semi-final of the Cape Town Sevens. It has been booked in. The South Africans at home, they are through to the final to face one of these two sides, Argentina or the Flying Fijians. Looking through at the starting lineups, first of all for the Pumas, it is Matteo Graziano, Santiago Verafeld, Santiago Alvarez, Santiago Mari, Luciano Gonzalez, Marcos Moneda, and also Pedro Taharo, the last man. And the starting side for the Fijians, Josefa Talatholo, Ulekimi Vunaki, Jeremiah Matana, the captain, Filippo Bukayaro, Vuiviwa Nadovalo, George Balsi, and also Waisia Natungu to close out this Fijian starting side. Now, we do see Taria Valawa. He will be making his way off the bench rather than in the starting side for this contest, and the same can be said for the Argentines when it comes to a couple of their younger players like a Morales, who did score late in the last game for Argentina up against the Spanish. But of course, do let me know who you think will be winning this contest. Fiji come in as favourites, but as we know on the World of Sevens, it can all change in an instant. In that last game between Argentina and between France and South Africa, that was the perfect example of that. But Fiji kicking this one off from right to left to get us underway in the second semi-final to face the blitz box just around the corner. Who will do it? Currently Argentina, they are in possession inside of their own 22, actually only 5 metres out from their line here for Luciano Gonzalez, who's been an absolutely try-scoring machine throughout this competition, and he is currently in a foot race with a Fijian and Filippo Bocayaro, the big fend coming in from Gonzalez, gets rid of him twice but hangs on to the shorts, and Bocayaro drags him down now back across to the right-hand side. Graziano, an advantage, going the way of the Argentines for offside. Marcos Moneda passes it on one more. Verafeld going there. Santiago Mari kicks it on the inside. The captain scores it himself. He looks like he's taken a head knock in the process. But Argentina, they will strike quick and they will strike early in the semi-final. We have got there, I feel the Pumas going to make it difficult, says Roof there, and Jeepers, that is a close call. A relief for the Blitzbox, says Mornay, and all the best Fiji, says Crook in there too. And what time is the grand final in South African time? Will there be national anthems for the grand final, says Jaden? They do the national anthems, and that final taking place at 4:43 p.m. South African time. So it's taking place in pretty much 4 hours from now. That kick does sneak over, so that is going to make the score now 7-0 in favour of the Argentines. I felt like this game was going to be close enough that conversions will determine it. So that is a brilliant start for Los Pumas. Off for the kicking tee. The Fijians, they allow Marcos Moneda to take that ball off the restart, which now gives them another attacking opportunity here for the Pumas. Luciano Gonzalez still causing problems for Bukayaro. And we have got... Perfect, thank you. Says Jaden there. Now wide cut-out pass going to Verafeld, and it's counted as forward. No, I'm going back for the penalty in favour of Argentina, offside against the Fijians. Not much of a break if you're knocked, or if you're necked on. I got dropped on your head full time, says Big Rig. Yeah, well, you look through at that last game at someone like a Tristan Lades. If he failed his HIA, he will not be playing in that final, which is happening in the 4 hours' time in the 32-degree heat. I'm sure that the players will be having the ice baths now, trying to get themselves back cooled down. Fiji conceded 14 penalties yesterday, the most of any team. It's a stat that just came up on the screen as well. The ill-discipline being costing them, so if they do make it through to the final, they of course have to really right those wrongs. A nice sell of the dummy there from Argentina, just delaying the pass from their scrum. Marcos Moneda almost going through, but the tackle made just 3 metres out from the line. The Fijians, they won't be able to stop Alvarez, though. He gets the grounding. And that is now 2 in a row for Los Pumas here up against Fiji. Now, all I'm going to say is the last time that these two sides played, this is exactly how it went. Argentina struck early. Fiji came back and won that contest in the closing moments of the game. So, as good of a start as this is for Argentina, they will know personally themselves that the job is not done yet. Have you ever been to South Africa? I have not. Would like to go one day, but I'm not sure when to go. And a great finish there from Alvarez. Bunaki trying to stop him from getting the grounding, but was unable to do so. Low kick. And has missed away to the side, making the score now 12 points for Argentina to the 0 of the Fijians. And the Pumas win a Sevens already. They did not. They actually finished dead last week in the Dubai Sevens. And in terms of last year, though, they did win the overall points tally for the Sevens year. That one's another good restart from the Pumas, but this time falling into the hands of Jeremiah Matana, the Fijian captain, who really needs to get his side fired up for the rest of this contest. 3 minutes remaining of the first half. Matana passes on the outside. Awkward bouncing ball. Vunaki managing to claim it just next to the sideline. Risky offload. Finds Matana though. That seems to be the one benefit that Fiji have with those offloads, is they always have someone on that shoulder ready to take the next pass. Careful with the Pumas, says Gus in there. Yeah, they are certainly no easy beats. Last week they did struggle a little bit for their form, but this week they've come out firing. Vuiviwa Nadovalo, he is tackled by Marcos Monera. A game-changing moment as Vuiviwa Nadovalo, he has been scoring tries for fun for Fiji all throughout this year. And that is a mistake and a half made by Vuiviwa Nadovalo. He could hear the footsteps of Monera right behind him. And that pressure forced the error. Currently 12-0 at the moment, the way that it does sit in this contest after the 5 minutes have passed in the semi-final. Fiji must pull up their socks, says Mornay there, but it is going to be the scrum feed now. Pumas putting the ball in. Oh, looks like a little bit of an early shot from Filippo Bucayaro. Referee says play on, and now going to the short side. We're going to get this one moving was Pedro Daharo. Big opportunity for him. And that number 9 jersey today for Los Pumas. Beautiful stepping from Santiago Amari. Goes round 3 Fijians. Offload to Graziano on the inside. Now Marcos Monera waiting for this ball. In fact, they are going off to Alvarez instead. Now 100 seconds remaining in this first half. Graziano pops it on the inside. Taharo gets that a little bit closer. Jeremiah Matana loses his footing. Graziano goes. Passes off. Argentina have their third in the Cape Town semi-final, and they are booking themselves closer and closer to making it through to face off with South Africa, a side that were able to beat them just last week. We'll see what happens now. The closing moments of this game, but 17-0 at the moment in favour of Argentina. This is literally about as good of a start as they could have had, starving Fiji of possession. How does the point system work, seeing as there's only 8 teams? Says Johan, so I think it's first place gets 20, second place gets, I want to say 18, third place gets 16, and so on, slowly dropping down. And then with the 8th side, I think you still get some consolation points, but not a huge amount of them. Hurry up, Fiji, says James. Yeah, currently sitting 17-0 down with 50 seconds remaining in this first half. Patrick of Cape Town, Argentina got the moves, says Patrick there. They certainly have started this game with a hiss and a roar. Now Luciano Gonzalez gets the steal in the breakdown. Offload for Argentina, now going away to the right-hand side. Vetterfeld has dropped that ball, so it will be the scrum feed for Fiji. But had Argentina scored there, it could have almost been game over. One moment, I'm about to sneeze, so I will very quickly mute. We are good, hopefully. Argentina is a very good team. They are very good at the moment. The way that they are playing in this game is completely different to what we saw in Dubai just last week. So it seems like they needed that one warm-up leg to be able to find their rhythm. Now Filippo Bucayaro, inside of his own 22, feeds that ball in. Now running this one sideways, pass on the outside. Natungu goes now to George Balsi. If Fiji want to win this game, they have to score in the very near future. Is that a deliberate knockdown? Yes, it is. And Luciano Gonzalez, he will be going to the bin for 2 minutes now in this contest. He is saying, I got both hands to the ball, in which case that would normally be a knock-on. They have sent Gonzalez from the turf, and for the next 2 minutes, the Fijians have got that numerical advantage. Now Josefa Talafolo, he's been out there the whole time. That's the first time I've seen him with the ball. Vunaki moving up inside of the Argentine half. Jeremiah Matana slapping it back. Talatolo now with the ball again. And this is the first time that Fiji have had an attack inside of the Argentinian half all throughout this game. Vetterfeld in the breakdown. There's a knock-on forced. And it will now be halftime in this contest. 17-0 in favour of Los Pumas. And this is exactly the start, like I said, that they would have been after in this contest. They are 8th ranked at the moment, but if they can make it through to the final, they will get a massive boost. I've just found here that at the moment, Argentina, due to finishing last, they were on 6 points, and New Zealand got themselves 20. So it pretty much goes down in even numbers. 20, 18, 16, 14, 12, 10, 8, and 6 for the side that finished last. Dana thought Fiji would win, says Big Rig there, and they need a converted try here, says James there. And also we have got their first half or second, so that is just the first half done and dusted. Still another 7 minutes remaining between these two sides. Who's in the final for 5th place, says Mornay. So it is going to be New Zealand versus Great Britain for that 5th place playoff game. So the Blitzbox to play Argies in the final. If it continues this way, yes. But once again, very hard to rule out Fiji no matter what the scoreline is. Although at the moment, like how many sides could be down 17-0 and be a $6.50 underdog? Not many in the world of sevens, that is for sure. So I feel like, they still feel like Fiji have half a chance. And the thing is, those missed kicks from Argentina, when you consider that, really all Fiji have to do is score twice and get a 3-pointer. And then they go on to golden point time, can win it from there. 3 tries for Fiji would give them the lead. Hope we don't become the kings of the catastrophic collapse. And also we have got there, come on Fiji, says Vasimatha. And there's this is sevens, anything can happen. It absolutely can, and it possibly will. Throughout the second 7 minutes of this contest, the bench impact from Taria Valawa, that cannot be underestimated. That man has been absolutely outstanding. I have to say, Filippo Bucayaro not having his best semi-final as of yet. But Santiago Alvarez scoring the 2 tries. Santiago Mari also getting over. So if your name's Santiago, you've got a good chance of scoring. So keep an eye out for Santiago Verafeld throughout this second half as well. We have got the Argentina can still lose. Spain broke us in Dubai, says Katzenel. We got there Mario and Luigi in the hot tub on the sideline by the looks of it. And Saturanga, says Vasimatha. Yeah, they got a few great options off of the bench. And this one, Meliweli Mai, he can bring a bit of impact. Sivu Mothanofangi there as well. He was starting most of the other matches. But it's nicely taken by Fiji just outside of their 22 with Filippo Bucayaro. And we are now back underway. We have got there, what's 1+1, says Charlize. I don't know whether or not you're actually asking seriously or you want the answer that we used to have at school, which was a window. But now going back across to the left-hand side, Filippo Bucayaro. Going to the left, Josefa Talatholo. Thinking about popping it on the inside. Instead, we'll just run this one sideways. Talatholo showing off that skill. And then he drops it. That is something we are not used to seeing from the veteran of the Fijians. But you just get that feeling like nothing is quite clicking here for Fiji. They had a man advantage. We have got there. Also, Fiji must score first in the second half or else it's game over. And already game over, says Scuba there. But now, it's going to be a scrum feed for the Argentinians. 6 minutes remaining on the clock. It looks like at the moment he is not happy, Josefa Talatholo. It looks like there might... Oh, this is bad. This is really bad. Marcos Moneta has hurt his ankle, ladies and gentlemen. If they make their way through to the next stage of the competition, they need Moneta out there. I'm going to love this game. That's why I'll love the bigger version. With more teams, gives underdogs a chance. Says Pete. And 3 teams can make 32 points today. Or 3 teams can have 32 points, says Andrew. And second half, it is indeed, yes, currently sitting the 8 minutes through this fixture. And there's going to be another scrum feed here for the Argentines. It's 19, says Charlize. They're not with their man. Fiji is getting stomped. Well, they're costing themselves here, the Fijians. Don't get me wrong, Argentina have defended well. But Fiji, the amount of drop balls that they've had throughout this matchup is certainly not helping their chances. Going down the short side, Filippo Bucayaro making the crucial tackle there on the Argentine number 8. Now stepping, another advantage, another penalty going against Fiji for offside. AJ Yakums has been keeping a close eye on them all day. We have got there, what was the score in the semi? So in the end, the South Africans won by 5 up against the French in the other semi-final. That one... Oh, do they want 3 points? No, they don't. They want the scrum here. 22-17 was the score in that other match. But Luciano Gonzalez, he will be able to make his way back onto the field now for Argentina. And yeah, it does look like Marcos Moneta is going to try and continue in this game. He knows how crucial it is for this last 5 minutes up against the Fijians. But during the power play, we saw 0 tries, 0 line breaks, 0 visits to the opposition 22, 0 points scored, and 2 errors from Fiji throughout that 2-minute period. All right, how are you live in both a 5th place playoff and the semi-final? There's Vasimatha. Or I assume that's, are you live in both the 5th place playoff? Perhaps. But yeah, we are going to be doing... Oh, that's another penalty. But all these games luckily don't overlap, which is fantastic. Morning, amigo. Says Bleshin. That is going to be the penalty going against, I believe that was Sorelli Ngwala. And someone said it earlier, Fiji can have a screamer every now and again. Says DJ, and yeah, this has been anything but a screamer for the Fijians. This one, the only reason they'd be screaming is because they're having a nightmare. Looks like another change is being made. Filippo Bukiaro to make his way off the field. Sivamathanathangi makes his way on alongside Toria Vailawa. 80k subscribers around the corner. Well done, Hamish. Says Tyrone, thank you very much. And 3 teams at the top today, all having 32 points. However, Fiji and New Zealand. Says Andrew. Now ball is ready to be fed in by the Argentinians. Every second that they can take out of this game is a second they get closer to booking themselves a final up against the host nation, South Africa. Now going off to the left-hand side, and Luciano Gonzalez, he runs in, and again, it goes from bad to worse for the Fijians as they now sit 22 points to 0 down. They're not quite at 221 0, but I feel like it is at the moment in terms of the amount of mountain that they have to climb to get back into this game. We have there with or without markers. Argentina is still dangerous. Play on. Boys go Fiji, says Tech Springfield. And Vamos, says Mikhail there. But the scoreline, Luciano Gonzalez are unable to add the additional 2, but I don't think they'll need them at this point in time. 22-0. Fiji need 3 tries and something from this game in the next 3.5 minutes of play. Luciano Gonzalez, he has been scoring a lot of tries. Yeah, it's another one. He's just come back from his yellow card, so a little bit fresher than the rest of his teammates. Nicely taken by Sivamathanathangi. Another offload for Vuiviwan Natovalo. In this case, Fiji, they need to score a try every 45 seconds. And yeah, this is a beating. This is certainly not the scoreline that people were expecting. Fiji are going to try their best to be able to keep this one a little bit closer. See there on the sideline, the coach of the Argentinians screaming advice through the middle. Goes Vuiviwan Natovalo. That is 1 of 4 that Fiji are going to need here. But he scores it between the posts, Vuiviwan Natovalo. This is all to make the score look a little bit more respectable for the Fijians as well, of course. And now with the 2 minutes remaining, Fiji do still sit down by the 15 points. And said the Pumas is eating roast Fijian. Says Big Rig. Running it through Natovalo there. I just want to say, that extra 2 points that Argentina got off the kicking tee, had it been 20 points to 7, I think there'd be a lot of nervous Pumas around. But because of that extra conversion, they'll still feel like they've done enough here. 3 converted, let's go, says James. Now ball in the hands. A little bit slow getting back up to his feet here. Graziano looks like he's maybe hurt his shoulder. Tell you what, Argentina are starting to fall to a few injuries here in the closing moments of this game. Fiji on the ball. 2 minutes remaining now. Chance to be able to get this ball. And now taking it quickly is Toria Vailawa. And 88% went with Fiji, says DJ, which is probably about how the odds saw this game as well. Toria Vailawa now knocking that ball on. Another mistake from a player who doesn't normally make them. And Argentina and Fiji, everyone's favourite second team, says Fleshin. So Blitzbox versus Pumas in the final, says Peter. It looks that way, and another try coming for Argentina. They will cut through once more. That's another beautiful try scored by the captain, Santiago Mari. Between the posts it goes, 90 seconds left on the clock, and that will secure the victory for Argentina. There is no coming back from there. And many thanks, Hamish. I see you in Singapore, says Akhtar. But yeah, the Fijians, they have still got themselves the 3rd place playoff game. It is once again up against the French that they will be going head-to-head with for 3rd. Vamos los Pumas, says Justine there. And also, okay, I will be back in the Pumas, so New Zealand has a chance to stay at the top. Now, what the hell is wrong with Fiji? That game up against New Zealand, I mentioned about how it can be so great for them, winning up against the Kiwis by 30 points. But it seems like it's done the opposite for the Fijians, whereas Argentina, they came off a loss at the end of their last day. They knew that they had to fire big time here to be able to get themselves in a decent sort of situation and find themselves in the final, and that's exactly what they've done. When is the final? What time? So the final is taking place in just under 4 hours' time. 4:43 p.m. South African time. Can we still win the circuit? I mean, we're only on the 2nd leg of a very long circuit, so they will be completely fine, and they still have time to be able to win it from here. Lots of us are going to have their hands full in the final for sure, says Roger. I think the biggest concern for Argentina, though, is Marcos Monero, Graziano, both going down with injuries throughout this contest. Now, I believe both of them tried to continue in this game, but you just get that feeling like if they are already at less than 100% here, the Pumas, they are going to struggle. Vuiviwan Natovalo cutting through again. Now, it looks like Argentina, they aren't going to give up on that foot race, but it is another try for Fiji. Oh, yep, just scoring it. in the closing moments. Oh, bit of a standoff there for Vuiviwa Natovalo. He was not happy with Argentina trying to stop him from scoring the post. Fun fact, that's how rugby works. But it's going to be between the posts. Oh, nice, easy conversion there for Fiji. Look like they're going to be ending this one 29 points to the 14. Too late for Fiji, says Pete. It absolutely is. The Pumas, says Justine, in there as well. But now kicking this one off again for the Fijians. Going high. It's going to be, nicely knocked back by Josefa Talatolo, but the ball goes on the side of the Pumas up until it was stolen again by Fiji. Manueli Moisamoa looping around, going off to the left-hand side. Chance again for a hat-trick perhaps for Vuiviwa Natovalo. Passes from his back on the ground. Discussing from my Fiji boys, says was Nikhil in there, and that is running it through again. Manueli Moisamoa scores. Trying to think what my score prediction was for this game. I think I went 24-26 in favour of... I actually thought Fiji may have done it with their conversions, which, to be fair, they've got more conversions over in this game. They just didn't score more tries. At the end of the day, you need tries to win a game. And Fiji have just left it a little bit too late to be able to get theirs throughout this game. But 29 points to 21. The end score in this contest, Argentina booked themselves a spot through to the final. They will take on the Blitz box in under 4 hours' time. Still got plenty more action coming up on the channel, ladies and gentlemen. We will be covering that bronze final between Fiji and France. Also, alongside that, we'll be covering the matchup between South Africa and Argentina in the final. And then also the women's final between New Zealand and Australia also being covered on the channel as well. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, for anyone wondering about when that third place final for Fiji is taking place, it will be at 2:42 a.m. Fiji time. So be sure to check that out as well. But thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all for the next one.